Hi everyone, it's Chris from Clearly Crafted. Hope you're having a great day. I wanted to show some techniques today that have to do with tile. So just regular old tile from the hardware store. This is one of the very glossy tiles that you can just get at Home Depot or any place. One of the complaints I hear from people is that it's hard to work with the gloss side sometimes. Paint doesn't want to adhere. Now I've shown some other techniques with this using Crackle and paint. I know people try and sand it. This is a very tough surface to try and sand. So I wanted to show you a different technique that gives you almost a texture as well, and it's very easy to do and very economical to do. So these are about $1.19. I think these are the 6x6 tile, and you can have the little 4x4 that people use for coasters. You can even get them bigger. I have 12x12. Those are heavy suckers, but I'll do that with fabric or something very decorative. So these are decorative pieces. Now this is one that's already done, and that's just painted and then napkin put on top, and then I have some other pretty papers that I always like to finish the back as well. So this can sit in a stand. This is just something that goes on a shelf. These are very just for decoration. So what I want to show you I'm doing is an easy way. Look at that. Isn't that fun? So what I do, and I've done this on a few others. I don't even have any. I think they all were sold on my Etsy. But what I do is, and you can see I have all different colors. How fun is this? So this is black. And this is another black one. And then I think a green on that tile. So these are all pieces of tile that I've already started. So what I do is, this is tissue paper, just regular old tissue paper from the dollar store, from Hallmark store, wherever you get your tissue paper for wrapping. I like the black. The black is neat because what I want to show you I'm going to do is I am going to use Crackle on this, which you can do. So, and that's what I'm going to do with this one. So these over here have all just had the paper adhered. This one I trimmed down. I'm getting ready to put Crackle Medium on this. This one already has the Crackle on it and it's dry, but I'm going to put paint on it and show you, how I'm going to do that. So this, let me just show you how I'm going to do this. This is just plain cleaned. I already alcoholed this. I'm going to crumble. I really like texture in projects. I think it adds interest. It makes things look a little more homemade versus machine made. And look, that goes right there. Not a big deal. Now I'm going to take matte Mod Podge. You're going to look at this and go, this is not anything exciting at all. And that sometimes is the best part of some of these tricks. It's not exciting. It's easy to do. You can do a bunch of them at once. I'm going to have 5 of them here that I'll be able to work on. Look, slap it on. I'm not even doing anything fancy with the Mod Podge. Big brush, putting the Mod Podge down. Just a single coat. Now, I got my wrinkles. I am going to just lay that down where I want it, and I'm going to press. And I want to keep the wrinkles. You notice I'm not smoothing them out. I'm not trying to get rid of them. I want those wrinkles. Joke that I'm going to make you love your wrinkles. Maybe not the ones on your face or anywhere else, but all right. And now, just to finish this off, really super easy, doing the same thing. I'm just lightly, because I don't want to pull my wrinkles out. I want to encourage them to stay. So I'm just lightly going over the whole thing with Mod Podge. And you can see I'm overlapped. Not a big deal. It's overlapped enough. I will wrap the edges around, or you can even cut it flush if you prefer. This is where you then make this technique your own, however you want to do it. So this is a nice coat of Mod Podge, and I will set this aside to dry. Boom. How easy. And look, you can see the fun little crinkles and wrinkles in that. It gives it some texture. I'm going to set this over here with my other ones. Now, this is one that is that, and it's dry now. But look at those. Aren't they fun? And when you touch it, I mean, they're firm. They're not going anywhere. So definitely add some interest. So, and this one has been trimmed down. So what I'm going to do with this one is I have my Crackle Medium, because Crackle has to have time to dry. I like this Faux Crackle Medium. I put it in a little container here. I have some going. And again, just like how we put that Mod Podge on, nothing exciting. You don't have to do anything special with this. You just want to cover the whole surface. This takes a little longer to dry. I have a nice little fan here that I just got at Walmart that's helping things dry. I do not like, with tile, I do not like using a hairdryer or a heat gun, because what I've found for me personally is the heat heats up the tile, and because we're using Mod Podge, and Mod Podge reacts to heat, and because it holds that heat, it just kind of stays, and then a lot of times things bubble up and peel. So you can see this is now covered with my Crackle Medium. So I'm going to set that aside, and that's going to dry. Now this one has already been coated with Crackle. Crackled. We're already crackled. And now this is dry. So, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. So now we're going to come back with our white paint. And I like the Waverly chalk paints. I get these at Walmart. I think they have them all over though. I've seen all different chalk paints. So you can use whatever you prefer. This one, I will say, gets a little gummy when they sit. So it was interesting. They get a little goopy. But, so now I will apply my top coat over the Crackle in two different ways. I will either do long strokes, and then with that you'll get the long cracks, or if I use a pounder, I will get this kind of crack, which is more of a subtle, you see that? So that's using a pounder sponge over the Crackle. And I'm going to paint this one on using long strokes just so you can see it, because I will do the other one with the pounder. Let me find a brush here that's going to work well. This one will. And I am just going to, actually, these little spray bottles from the dollar store are wonderful, just to add a little bit of water to my paint. You can definitely add water to paint. These are, goes on. And then I'm kind of looking at the cracks. This is all over, which I like. So I'm just going to go up and down with my, let's see, and we'll see how quickly we start to crackle. This Crackle from Folk Art works really quickly and really well. And by the time it's dry, see, I'm going to just, oh, I love the texture. Look how cool that texture looks. It's coming up with the paint. And that is something you can make this. I'm seeing this like something spooky at Halloween. Just something very antique-y. Just think if this was pink paper on the back and you wanted to do something very romantic, like roses, vintage roses would look really neat. And you can go back and even rub some stain on this. Now I'm using white. You could use, you know, off-white or cream. As you can see, I'm not being fancy with this. I'm not being very technical. I am trying to get it on quickly because it'll start cracking. As you can see, it's already cracking. And I just want to make sure I have enough of a coat that this isn't orange. So I want it to be a white background, but I want the orange to pop through, because now I'm going to be using napkin or rice paper on this. And with the color, it will come through, and I need to be able to see like my napkin or whatever I'm using. So I don't know if you can see, and now it's already cracking. Yay! This one's going to be fun. I like the orange. I'm starting to think this is going to probably have a sunflower. I have a sunflower festival I was just asked to make things for. So this will probably get a sunflower. So see some pretty yellow and green on top of this orange. And you can see even as I'm videoing and this is drying, you can watch the cracks appear. And you can see these are more long cracks than those little short other kind of crack with the crackle. I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more, and it'll keep reacting as I put layers on. It won't stop until it's fully dry. And you can put it on as thick or as thin as you want, and it will crack through the many layers. You can see, I'm gonna make sure that you can see it. Watch, you can see how it's crackling. And then it has that texture. So that texture with some stain rubbed into it, or some patina, or just some paint, you know, kind of to bring out that texture. It's really kind of cool. See if you can see it. Yeah, there. That's probably the best spot where you can see the crackle and then the texture. And so easy. People complain that the tile with the glossy surface is hard to paint on because the paint tends to pull. If you understand what I mean by that, like you're painting and then the paint's coming off as you're moving with it. I've gotten away from that a few times too. If you're going to use the tile, if you put a layer of Mod Podge on the tile itself and then let that dry and then paint over it, so it tends to help it adhere a little bit. Glossy surfaces are really hard to get paint to adhere to sometimes. You can use spray paint, but then when you go and you try and Mod Podge on them, it pulls off. So, and that's what I did with these. These were glossy. These were ceramic. This same glossy ceramic here, but they were pink and yellow and very odd color. So and I'll be putting something on top of these. So what I did with these is I did a layer of paper, a thicker paper that I don't usually use for my Mod Podge projects. Thicker layer of paper, then I painted it black, and then I painted it white. Having the paper there helped my paint adhere. So definitely some little tricks that you can use. That's why I'm like, there's so many different papers that you can use that can help make things really cool. So you can see how this one is. And there we are. And I'll be doing that with the rest of these. I'll be putting layers of Crackle, and then I will kind of put the paint on in different ways so that I get some kind of effect. But that was it. It was just a technique I wanted to show you. Oh, and this one, look how fun this paper is. This is one of my marble papers from Mulberry Paper and More. And that'll go on the back of this. So I always put something nice on the back as well. So that'll be pretty on this. So but have a great week. And that's it. Keep crafting. Have a great day. Bye.